You know the feeling you're about to fight a boss, you're low on levels, your healer can't keep up, and your damage barely scratches the health bar. So you turn around and spend an hour fighting the same enemies over and over. Welcome to the grind. For some players it's satisfying, a test of patience, strategy, and progress. For others it's exhausting, repetitive, and obsolete. JRPGs are infamous for this, arguably more than any other genre. So today we're asking the big question. Why are JRPGs so grindy? Where did this design philosophy come from? What's the psychology behind it? And are modern games moving past it or just rebranding it? Definition and origins of the grind. Let's define the beast before we slay it. In gaming, grinding refers to repetitive gameplay tasks, usually combat or item farming, done to build up stats, money, or resources. In JRPGs, grinding is often essential. You fight weaker enemies in the same area repeatedly to level up your characters before tackling stronger enemies. But why did this become such a core mechanic? Back in the 1980s, Japanese developers were creating RPGs for consoles with massive limitations. We're talking about kilobytes of storage space. That meant small words, simple mechanics, and very little room for detailed quests or dialogue. Enter Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, two of the most influential games in JRPG history. These games didn't have the luxury of cinematic cutscenes or voice acting, so to give players hours of play, they relied on challenge and progression. And the simplest way to implement that? Make players earn it through grinding. Need to be the first boss? Go fight slams for 2 hours. Need to buy the gear? Farm gold in random battles. It wasn't padding, it was survival by design. Design intent versus padding. Okay, but here's the thing. Was all that grind intentional or just a way to stretch content? Let's look at the two main schools of thought. First is the design intent, which encourages mastery of systems, creates a feeling of growth and payoff, and builds up tension before key moments. While the other is padding, which artificially inflates playtime, makes progression feel like busy work, and impresses players who just want to enjoy the story. Remember, good grind challenges you. It forces you to rethink your party composition, target weaknesses, and experiment with status effects. Bad grind is just hitting attack 50 times while watching YouTube in the background. And here's where it gets tricky. The line between design and padding is razor thin. For example, Shin Megami Tensei game intentionally tests you with difficulty spikes that require some grinding, but if you're going blind, it feels punishing. Meanwhile, a game like Ni no Kuni might demand grind just to pad out its main quest. Players want a meaningful grind, not a second job. Cultural design differences. Why is grinding so deeply embedded in Japanese RPGs specifically? The answer goes beyond game design into cultural philosophy. In Japan, repetition is not seen as a flaw, it's often a virtue. Whether it's martial arts, calligraphy, or even cooking, mastery through repetition is highly valued. This bleeds into JRPGs. You train, you earn, and you grow. Struggle is part of the journey. The party doesn't just gain levels, they're proving their worth. Compare that to Western RPGs, games like Skyrim, Fallout, or The Witcher are more about exploration, choice, and personal expression. Grinding is pleasant but rarely mandatory. Western design often avoids hard gates. You get progress by being clever, persuasive, or sneaky. JRPGs, we want you to face the wall head on, climb it, and come back stronger. It's not a bug, it's philosophy. The psychology of grinding. Here's where it gets really interesting. Even when grinding is boring, we keep doing it. Why? Because grinding taps directly into your brain's dopamine system. Every small reward, leveling up, getting a new ability, earning gold gives you a hit of satisfaction. It creates what's called a variable reward loop, like gambling. You're not sure exactly when the next reward is coming, but you know it's coming soon. That anticipation, that's what hooks us. And while modern games like Genshin Impact exploit this for real money, JRPGs used it to simulate growth. You put in the time and your characters become stronger. That illusion of progress, it feels earned, even when it's an illusion. Grinding can be soothing too. For some, it's therapeutic, a meditative loop you control. For others, it's exhausting, a treadmill with no end. But either way, it works. Modern takes and subversions. Here's the good news. Modern JRPGs are getting smarter about the grind. Games like Persona 5 Royal doesn't remove the grind, they just reframe it. Dungeons are broken into chunks, combat is snappy and strategic, social stats matter just as much as combat stats. Then there's Xenoblade Chronicles, with huge maps and real-time combat. The grind is there, but it feels like exploration, not repetition. Meanwhile, Yakuza like a dragon embraces grind but adds auto medals, over-the-type animations, and hilarious enemy types to keep it fresh. And let's not forget, tons of modern JRPGs now include XP multiplier, story modes, and skip options. Even Final Fantasy offers it in its remasters, because not everyone wants to spend 10 hours grinding in the same cave anymore. Impact on game longevity and replayability. So, does grinding hurt a game's replay value or help it? On one hand, grinding can make victories feel earned. It builds emotional investment. You remember the boss that took you 3 tries, the weapon you farmed hours for, the moment you finally hit level 99. But it can also lead to burnout. Players drop off, stories get buried in repetition, and may never finish the game. Smart developers are now offering player agency. Choose your pace, skip the grind, or embrace it. Optional challenge, not forced tedium. Games that strike that balance offer grind as a tool, not a requirement, tend to have the longest lifespans. Because players return not to suffer, but to relive the journey. Is it changing? So, is the RPG grind dead? Not quite, but it's definitely evolving. Indie RPGs like Sea of Stars and Chained Echoes design battles to avoid grinding altogether. Every fight matters, no filler. Modern AAA JRPGs like Final Fantasy XVI go full action RPG, trimming grind for cinematic pacing and spectacle. While turn-based hybrids like Octopath Traveler 2 offer layered mechanics that make every encounter meaningful, even if you're still leveling. The grind is no longer mandatory, it's a choice, a playstyle, a legacy mechanic that's been refined, not removed. JRPGs are grindy because they come from a time when that was the only way to make games feel epic. But they've held on to it not just out of tradition, but out of purpose. For some, grind is the price of greatness. For others, it's a design sin that's slowly being exorcised. But whatever your stance, the grind is a mirror, reflecting what kind of gamer you are and how much you're willing to fight even when the fight is slow. But what's your take on the JRPG grind? Love it, hate it? Has it ever made you quit a game, or did it make your victory even sweeter? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, if you like this video, hit like, share and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay silver.